Well, I'm going to let you behind the curtain a little bit with some information that you probably don't know. I am not a native of the state of Indiana. As a matter of fact, my hometown is in West Texas, namely El Paso, Texas. That's correct. My hometown, where I'm from, is El Paso, Texas. And frankly, I graduated high school there. That's where I went to school, and that's where I'm from. Now, as you've heard, there's a big issue going on, or was a big issue going on down in El Paso involving the FAA literally shutting down the airspace in El Paso up to 18,000 feet, flight level 180. Said they were going to do it for 10 days. And everybody got their panties in a knot, and about 10 hours later, they shut it down. What was going on in El Paso, Texas, and, well, what can I pass along to you? Well, here's the thing. El Paso, Texas is the 22nd largest city in the United States. But if you take a look from the air, you're going to see there's, well, a whole lot of area there. But part of it is Juarez, Mexico. You see, if you look at the picture, there's the river, the Rio Grande, running right down between El Paso and Juarez. El Paso is the pass of the north. That's what it really means in Spanish. So you have Ciudad Juarez on one side, you have El Paso on the other side. And El Paso alone, like I said, is the 22nd largest city in the United States. Now, what happens? Well, it used to be in the old days when I was young and in school, we could go down to Juarez and go to the clubs and drink. My parents used to go shopping in Mexico to buy the groceries there because they were cheaper. The peso wasn't worth near what the dollar was. Saved a lot of money. But you don't go to El Paso anymore. I've taken my family down there. Wouldn't take them down there if you paid me money because the cartels have taken over Mexico, especially that portion of Mexico, because we're talking about the territory of Chihuahua, Sonora. That's where the cartels operate. And right now, the biggest concern and the reason the FAA shut down, put a temporary flight restriction on the city of El Paso and part of New Mexico, southern part there, is because drones were coming across the border, and these were cartel drones. Now, most people think, oh, a little bitty drone, the kind that go up and take pictures. Folks, sorry. We are talking about heavyweight commercial drones. Drones that, well, carry a lot of stuff. You know, Amazon was bragging about being able to deliver stuff to you with their drones. The drones that the cartels have, Amazon couldn't touch because the cartels have so much money. They could go out and buy the best, the latest, the most incredible stuff. Recently, Dan Bongino, who used to be here, and he was the assistant director of the FBI. Even he came out and said, hey, when I got in there, I found out our drones were not near as good as what they had down in Mexico because the government has to buy drones from the lowest bidder. Now, Mexicans don't worry about that. They got plenty of money. They just find the person who makes the coolest, neatest one. But here's some of the commercial drones we're talking about. These drones can carry all kinds of stuff. And I mean all kinds of stuff. So the feeling was that what the drones were doing down there coming across the border and affecting American airspace, flying over the river, as they say, shooting photographs of places they needed to put the drugs, see if it was clean, clear, nobody was there, no police. And then what they do is they send the drugs over. They can bring over lots of containers. This is how the drones can do this, folks, just so you understand. Now, so what was happening? Well, there are some people saying, well, the reason they shut it down so they can shoot missiles at the drones, and that's why they wanted everything, nobody in the air, because they don't want to hit somebody with a missile, helicopter, medevac, airline, whatever. They don't want to hit them with a missile, so they just said nobody flies. And it didn't go over too well, frankly. But you have to understand something you probably hadn't thought about. White Sands Missile Range is very, very near El Paso. Matter of fact, my father worked up at White Sands, and we lived in El Paso. So White Sands is close, and they test things there. They test a lot of things there, things that you don't know about. But one of the things they're testing is laser technology. I know it sounds kind of Star Wars stuff, and frankly, it kind of is. Laser technology with the right beam can take down anything. And the fact is, we told the Mexicans and we told the cartels, you want to see what we can do? And maybe, just maybe, and I'm not saying they did this because I can't prove it, but I did contact somebody down in El Paso, a very, very dear friend. He's been a friend of mine since we were in college. We've been friends for 60 years. And he is a retired Army officer. He was a paratrooper. He was Special Forces as an S2. I'll leave those of you who understand the military know what that was. He went Army, I went Air Force. But between the two of us, we served our country, we served it until we retired. Today, he is considered one of the finest professional photographers in the United States. He lives in El Paso, Texas, and is still my best friend. I call him BK. And this is what BK looks like. BK is, well, he's BK, trust me. He knows what he's doing, and he's very good at what he does. But when he and I chatted, he goes, yeah, there's something going on. And he knows, but obviously we can't discuss those things over a telephone line. It's unsecure. But the truth of the matter is, chances are we were telling the cartels, here's what we can do to your birds, your drones. We can take them out. And we've got a technology to do it. So we're showing them, the bad guys, here's what we can do. You play your games, we'll play ours. So they rescinded the temporary flight restrictions, but there's still one in southern New Mexico going on. Because obviously, if you can't go in one way, you're going to try to go in another. But now you better understand something. The cartels have bigger, better toys than we do in the United States because they got more money. And they can spend it whatever way they want. And Fort Wayne, well, we make drones here in Fort Wayne. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't know that. Fort Wayne makes drones. We make a lot of stuff here that people don't know about. But cartels have them. They're using them. And now we have to fight fire with fire. In this case, if we were using a new laser weapon they were testing out, let the cartels know we got a toy to take down your toys, maybe that's exactly what happened. Now, that's just my opinion. But knowing what I know, seeing what I've seen, and knowing exactly where everything is on the chessboard, trust me, if they're flying drones, we found a way to say, you want a cha-cha? We'll take them out. And I think that's what happened. That's my guess of what happens, and hopefully my friend BK is down there having a good time. Maybe he'll get a photo of some of those drones coming over. He's that good, folks. And now you know.